Hello YouTube, it's Sam here with Hobbies of Man once again, and today we are doing our TBR for the month of September. This is everything that I plan to read in September. Of course, this is what I plan to read, not what I actually end up reading, which is sometimes not the same thing. But hopefully I get through everything. And in fact, I would actually like to get through more things than I listed. So last month, I actually did pretty good. I got through just about everything, and at the time of this recording, I only had one book to finish, which was Kuroichi by this author right here. She sent it to me as a review copy, and I haven't finished reading it, but I will finish reading it in this first week of September. I'll probably review it in the second week of September on Saturday, because this month's theme or whatever is sci-fi manga, sci-fi comics, and sci-fi novels. And so everything that I want to do during the week, Monday through Friday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday videos, are all going to be science fiction oriented. Saturdays, I'm going to have Kaiju number 8 reviews on the days that those come out, or on the weekends of the week that the series comes out. But I might have other types of videos. I'll have reviews for Brightblade and Kuroichi. I'll have maybe reviews for other things. Maybe I'll start a comic book series where I kind of detail what I bought that month or that week or something. I don't know. I haven't really decided it, but I do want to do something more comic book specific on the channel. But like basically Monday through Friday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday videos are going to be sci-fi stuff. And then Saturdays and maybe Sundays are going to be my off days. I'm going to do stuff that is not science fiction. So if you don't like science fiction, sorry, only come on Saturdays. But I hope you join us for the whole month. So let's get into it. I'm recording at 7:30 right now, and the sun is slowly setting, and it's gonna suck when the light of the sun goes away and I just get stuck with my poor indoor lights. So let's get into it. The first thing I have to finish, obviously, is Kuroichi. That's the first priority. That's the top thing that I want to get through. But honestly, most everything else isn't in any order. I'm just gonna tell you how I have it in the pile, right? And everything that I mentioned now is the stuff that I do want to get to, and everything I mentioned in a bit is going to be all the stuff that is extra, right? So first thing I want to do digitally, I want to read the Dr. Stone reboot Byakuya novel. Volume. It's only 9 chapters. It's by Boichi completely, and it's just off the artwork. I really want to read it, and I finally finished up to chapter 45, so I should be fine. There shouldn't be any spoilers in it, so it's okay. I'm gonna read it and hopefully review it sometime soon. That's pretty cool because it's a one and done. It's really nice. But that's the first thing I want to read. The second thing I want to read is Dr. Stone Wars, which is chapters 46 to 82. Shouldn't be difficult to read at all. It's only about 30 chapters, which is pretty nice. That should be very, very easy to read. And yeah, again, this is art by Boichi. I'm gonna feature Boichi at least one more time in this video. So yeah, let's get into the rest of it. Now, in terms of manga, I want to read through quite a few of my Spanish/Mexican manga. So first, let's start with Adam. This is a retelling / reimagining of the Astro Boy series, but it also actually starts before Astro Boy starts. So it's a prequel, reimagining, retelling, alternate dimension thing. I don't know. It's very complex. It was originally by Osamu Tezuka, as you guys can see right there. The conceptual work here is done by Masami Yuki, and the illustrations are by Tetsuro Kasahara, and the editor here is Makoto Tezuka, which is, of course, Mr. Osamu Tezuka's son. As you can see, this is in bound, but it's actually 3 different volumes, as you guys can see right there. They move independently, and I'm really excited to get into this. I like the artwork. I'm pretty interested in the concept of it. It kind of reminds me of iRobot, or kind of more like Real Steel, the movie with Hugh Jackman and the little kid that looked like Anakin Skywalker that would fight with the boxing robots. That's kind of what it looks like, and conceptually, I think he looks pretty similar as well. So yeah, that's the first physical manga that I want to read. The second set of physical manga is Origin by Boichi, volumes 1 and 2. This is also about robots. This basically deals with this robot right here called Origin, which is the first proper, AI type of robot, the first robot that can think for himself. And he's trying to live the way his father, his creator, told him to live, which is well, right? And so he's trying to figure out what living well means, and he thinks that it means living like a person, like a human, and you know, whatever that entails, which usually is like rules of not hurting others and stuff like that. And so when his fellow robots start to kill people, he hunts them down, and that's basically what it is. It's a 10-volume series. Mexico just got up to volume 9. I think they have volume 10 slated for later this year, and I only have the first 2, but I'm really looking forward to getting into them. This is going to be my first proper only Boichi title, and I can't wait to get into it. I hope that this does well in Mexico so we can get other stuff by him, like Wallman. It would be nice to get his one cooking manga that he has, and of course his Terraformars, what's it called? Gaiden series. And he has something else that I wanted to read, but I can't remember. Oh, and Sunken Rock. Sunken Rock is the series that I really, really want. So I hope that Origin does well in Mexico. Next, pretty nice actually, is Yagon volumes 1 and 2. This is very similar to Gantz. Basically, there's this guy, he's an adult, and he has this weird case of depression, very serious case of depression. And then toxic alien frogs start raining down from the sky, and they make people turn into monsters. Our character also turns into a monster, but only partially, and so he has been tasked with exterminating all the other monsters. And so we kind of see this story. Currently, I think there's 11 volumes, and Mexico's up to volume 9. A lot of Mexican manga tubers talk a lot about this one, specifically Fire, which is right there, or actually right there, sorry. You guys should go check out his channel if you like it. He has some videos where he talks about Yagon, but he generally is just collecting a lot of stuff that is being published, you know, generally, right? But Yagon is really, really interesting. I know a lot of people in the US want it in English, and I agree, but I was gonna take the opportunity that I had in front of me, so I picked up some of it in Spanish when I went to Mexico. Hopefully it's good, and hopefully I can get some more in the winter, when I hopefully go visit some family for the holidays. But who knows what's gonna happen, especially now that COVID is like on the rise once again. Next, we got Star Blazer 2199 Volume 1. This is a retelling, restructuring of the original Space Battleship Yamato series, but of course it also is a manga retelling of the TV show that was recently released in like 2014 or something. So that's why it kind of looks a little bit different. It kind of has different plot points, but it is still Battleship, Space Battleship Yamato. Sorry, I always forget the order of the words for that one, because I just want to call it Space Battleship. And I always forget the Yamato, right? Or I forget the space or whatever. Like Battleship Yamato is just what I want to call it. But yeah, then we have Ultraman Volume 1. These are going to be probably going to be put together in a first impressions review. I'm not too sure yet, but here we go, Ultraman Volume 1. If I like this, I'm definitely going to go straight to pick up Volume 2, because it just looks so cool. It's just so badass. The art here is really what attracted me originally, just because it looks so cool. I had another series I wanted to pick up this month, which was No Guns Life, but I couldn't find Volume 1. It seems to be ridiculously out of print, and I'm not going to pay over cover price for it, so I'm just going to wait it out. That's all there is to it. Then I want to read Fist of the North Star. Now this is kind of like a fighting manga, so I would assume that some of you are wondering why I have it here in this science fiction thing, but it's actually kind of like a post-apocalyptic series, right? So that means it's science fiction, because the reason for the apocalypse is nuclear war. So technically speaking, this is a post-sci-fi setting, kind of like Mad Max, so it functions and fits in the thematic elements that I'm putting forth. So there we go. There we go. That's Fist of the North Star. Can't wait to pick this up, or to read it, sorry. I already have it. But yeah, really excited to get into this. Let's see. Then I have a single light novel, which is right here, Space Mercenary, or Reborn as a Space Mercenary. I think this is the first sci-fi isekai that we have that is actually an isekai and not just an MMORPG manga, like light novel story. And I'm really excited about this. He basically ends up on a spaceship, and he's like, okay, now I gotta live my life as a space pirate. Let's do it. And of course, he meets cute girls along the way. So there you go. That's Space Mercenary right there. And then let's get into the comic books first, and then I'll talk about the novels. So first, Radiant Black. Radiant Black. I was going to say Black Radiant, but that's not true. Oh, shit. This is by Kyle Higgins, and he wrote the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers series that was really popular, that did the whole kind of like multiverse thing with Power Rangers. And that really cool, evil-looking Tommy Oliver. But yeah, Radiant Black, my buddies Darth and Josh always talk about it. Josh always has a negative opinion on it, even though he continues to collect it. But I'm really excited to get into it. It's basically Power Rangers, but not, and I'm really looking forward to that. I like a lot of these tokusatsu type works, so I can't wait to read it. So there you go. That's Radiant Black. Then, of course, I got Saga. Volumes 4, 5, and 6. I really like Saga, and I think I read this last time I did a science fiction reading theme on the channel, so it's kind of nice to come back to it. Next time I do another one, I'll also read volumes 7 through 9, which would be the complete series up to this point. It's been on hiatus for like 5 years, I think, at this point. But yeah, Saga is a very interesting series. If you listen to someone describe Saga, you're not going to find it interesting, because it really isn't. Like, it's just, oh, there's a girl that was born, her parents are kind of like star-crossed lovers, and they just run around on a spaceship. That doesn't sound interesting at all, but it is actually so interesting. And I think it's because everything about it feels familiar without it actually being familiar. And so you have this weird sense of like, oh, I love this, before you even really get into it, and that kind of changes like how you feel about it. It's just very well done. Brian K. Vaughan is a master at doing this kind of like wacky, funky ass science fiction that feels like Star Wars, but also feels like its own thing, but also feels like watching Boba Fett, but also like not. And it's so like weird as hell, man, but it's so good. It's very, very nice. So yeah, there you go. That's Saga right there. I also borrowed Watchmen from my roommate, one of my roommates. I guess this isn't technically a science fiction story, but I mean, the big guy, Dr. Manhattan or whatever, is like literally just like a walking science project. So I'm gonna say it's science-based and it's science fiction, and it's gonna work for the channel, and that's that's all it is. That's all I'm gonna do about it. So there you go. I'm gonna read Watchmen. Hopefully I won't beat up my buddy's copy too much, since it's already a little bit beat up. I don't want to damage it more, but there you go. That's a Watchmen. If I like this, I'll probably go buy my own copy, but for now, I'm happy borrowing it. So there you go. That's the last thing that I wanted to read comic book wise. Now let's talk novels. I have 3 novels that I want to read, and the reason why I have so many novels as opposed to other months is because 1, these novels are short, and 2, because when I'm at school, I prefer reading novels over manga, because I don't mind if my novels get beat up a little bit, but I do really care if my manga do. So just to save myself a little bit of pain, I'm just going to read novels at school. So the first one I want to read is Red Rising. I bought this a long time ago. Oops, I had it upside down, but it wasn't even noticeable. So there you go, Red Rising. Now, why do I want to read this? Well, a lot of people say it's really good, and a lot of people say it's YA, but it's actually not. And I'm really excited to get into this. Apparently, this is a society that's spread out across the solar system, and it's also divided into racial, social class groups, and each one is assigned a color. So the red color is the lowest of the low, and I think they live on Mars, which is kind of fitting, I guess, but also kind of stupid, because Mars is a god of war, so symbolically they would be warriors, but like they're the poor guys. So I guess that kind of comes from things like John Carter of Mars, where like Mars was just like really fucked up and poor and just messed up because they didn't have any water. I don't really know what the heck that's going on, but basically it seems like it's basically a chosen one type of thing, with the main character coming from a little red desert planet. He's kind of the lowest of the low, and he's going to turn into a great warrior, create a rebellion, and kind of do this whole kind of like YA Hunger Games kind of thing, but also turn into this kind of more grimdarky adult fantasy science fiction setting later on. So I'm really excited to get into it. I'm really just looking forward to seeing how this goes, because I know a lot of people that love this series, and a lot of bigger YouTubers than I. So I'm really excited to see if, you know, I jive with that opinion or not. So there you go. That's Red Rising. Then I want to read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. I've never actually read this. And I picked this up a few years ago, and I was like, well, might as well buy it right now, or read it right now. Sorry, not buy it. I need a little bit of levity in my life right now. I mean, I don't have anything like problematic going on or anything, but like school is stressful and COVID is stressful now that it's coming back, and now that people don't give a shit about it anymore, and I'm just like frustrated. So I think that having a little bit of comedy in my life is going to help quite a bit, and that's basically all I hear about this series. It's like, it's funny, it's interesting, and it's pretty cool. So I'm looking forward to checking it out. And the last thing I have that I want to read this month, that I absolutely want to get to, is Perry Rhodan. I bought this when it came out all the way back in July. I was going to read it at some point in my trip to Mexico, but I just never got around to it. So here we are. I'm going to read it today, or this month, sorry, not today specifically. And hopefully really get into it, because Perry Rhodan is like the longest running science fiction series ever. It's been going on for 60 plus years. It's German in origin, and it's been rebooted about twice, I think. But none of the reboots also have like gotten rid of continuity. They just kind of get updated. And so it's kind of interesting and really cool. And I really want to get into it because it just is such an interesting series, right? And so it's so cool. It has a lot of history. I can't wait to see how it is, right? And why it has so many fans. But that's it. That's everything I want to read. I can't like go without reading this month. Now let's talk about some alternative titles in case I get bored or I have to take a break from science fiction or whatever. The first one that I have is just volume 1 of Gohan. This is a foodie series. This is very easy, and this is, of course, this is kind of a rom-com. It's kind of funny. So again, kind of goes back to that thing that I wanted for Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Just something light and easygoing that is kind of just funny and enjoyable. And of course, this is also a little bit ecchi, so it's pretty fun. I'm excited to kind of get into it. I hopefully enjoy it because this is something I've had my eye on forever. So I hopefully enjoy it and get to buy some more later on. So there you go. That's called Gohan. The other one I want to read is Yu Yu Hakusho. Now I actually might, no, I had that backwards. Sorry. So I might actually switch this out for Saint Seiya Volume 1 because Yu Yu Hakusho, dealing with like ghosts and stuff, might actually be better to read in October, kind of like a spooky time. So I might actually switch this out for Saint Seiya. I will tell you guys in the check-in if I did or not. But I want to read at least one volume of either Yu Yu Hakusho or Saint Seiya, and just kind of have something that is like a little bit different, a little bit more battle shonen, a little bit more just kind of like quick and fast and exciting, that doesn't really take that much effort to read. Because science fiction manga, as you know, easygoing as manga is, I actually tend to have quite a bit more stuff going on to them than most of these battle shonen that I usually read, right? So I do want a little bit of a break in that sense. Now, other than that, I just have a few different comic books that I want to read. Most of them fall under science fiction anyways, like Green Lantern by Jeff Johns, Green Lantern Rebirth. But the one I want to read that is just put away right now that I don't want to pull out is Monstrous by Marjorie Liu. I actually just bought it a few days ago, and I want to pick it up just because it seems really interesting. It has this kind of thing in my mind where it's attached, where I saw it once in a video that was like, if you like comic books, or if you like manga but don't like comic books, read these comic books and you'll like them, right? And so that was one of the books that they mentioned. So I want to check it out to see if that's true. I also really like the art style and just the vibe that it has, right? But that's it. Other than that, I think the only other thing I want to put on my list for tentative reading or alternate titles is One Piece. Water 7. I think the whole saga is actually, well, actually, yeah, I think that's the name of the saga, Water 7. I know I was supposed to read it earlier, but I just never got around to it. And I don't know when I'll get back to One Piece, but I do hope to get around to it soon. I'm just gonna always have it in my alternative titles just for now, because, you know, sometimes I just get bored and I don't want to read the stuff that I said I was gonna read, and so I'll read something else. Other than that, I think reading-wise, I'm also going to be reading my single issues that I buy from comic books every couple days. I have a few to pick up tomorrow, and then I don't have anything the week after that, but I have some on the third week of September to pick up, so I'm really excited to see how I enjoy comic books. I'm definitely going to make a video about it at some point. I think my monthly ramble this week is going to be about comic books, so I'm not too sure. I haven't really decided. I usually decide the day of doing that video, so I don't know. But yeah, I think that's it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below. Let me know what you thought. Let me know what you guys are reading this month. Do you guys even plan out your reading schedule? I used to not do it, right? Because I study engineering, and engineering is all about, you know, following the rules and having these ideas and kind of following the algorithm and a lot of like organization stuff. And so doing that with my hobbies doesn't really feel that great, because it's like, oh, this is just more work, right? But I've noticed that I have to do it a little bit, at least kind of like plan it out tentatively, because then I don't get anything done. I end up watching TV instead of reading if I don't make myself a little list to read stuff during the month. So that's kind of why I do it. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys are reading this month, if you even plan out your reading, or if you don't. If you do, why? If you don't, why not? And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video. Like I said, I really appreciate you guys and everyone that watches these videos. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Sorry. I really do appreciate you all. So thank you for watching, and see you guys later.